What have you been searching for in a conference minister?
Jesus.
Amen.
Someone who walks on water, my friends. No. I think we really were. We were looking for somebody who was kind of anything and everything. Right? Someone who had this, kind of came with the whole package of skills.
Somebody with passion, somebody with experience, somebody with vision, somebody with a fresh perspective.
And someone who really had an understanding of the challenges that would be facing the church.
Who understood the whole dynamic of what it is to be a conference minister.
Someone who has strong leadership skills, a facilitative and servant leader. Someone who is very personable and down to earth.
This person needs to be not only a fine administrator with a vision, but also has to have a pastoral heart, and that came through loud and clear.
It was imperative to us to find a candidate who loves the church.
He comes to us with ideas, with a lot of energy.
But he came in and you could see him immediately. Conference minister.
He is an alumni of Silver Lake, and so he really does know the ministry that takes place there.
He's a person who wants to build relationships, and he wants to communicate, and he wants to share.
To me and to many, many, many people in this conference, he's someone who I trust implicitly, who evokes trust in anyone he meets.
When he said, "Who is not here?" At one point he said that was the very key questions, the essential key questions for him. Who is not here present and why? I
got to drive Cameron Hines, our college-age search committee member, home that day, and we were talking about our time interviewing candidates, and he said, I really felt like I got to know all the candidates really well. I really believe Kent got to know me real well.
Kent Siladi.
Kent Siladi.
Yo, Kent Siladi.
I grew up in Stamford at the First Congregational Church in Stamford, which was a really important place in my formation as a Christian, but also as a minister.
Someone who appreciated the history and the traditions.
Our Genesis story can be instructive in that, how we were born as the Missionary Society. We've got a rich and deep history in this conference.
Somebody that not the same old, but somebody who's willing to take a look at it. And he dropped a couple of bombs in the middle of the conversation with us. I'm like, woo, okay.
We've got to experiment all over the place. But the key component of experimentation, I believe, is that we need to ask ourselves, when something fails miserably, what did we learn? And from that learning, we then build into a new understanding of what we might experiment with next. Being open to the way the Spirit of God is moving, and the Spirit of God is moving in creative ways. God's Spirit has not stopped moving.
If you've had experience with Kent Siladi from his time serving as a regional minister or as a pastor in the Connecticut Conference, get ready to meet a new Kent Siladi. He has found new ways to do ministry. He has found new ways to bring God's Word into our world.
This is not the same Ken. This is a better Ken.
I do think I am a different person than when I left, and lots has happened in the last 6 years. What I bring that's different is really a commitment to the emerging church, a commitment to the changes that are required for the church for the future. The church that I was trained to serve no longer exists. And so the question was, why would you leave something where something good was happening? And part of my understanding of call is that God calls us sometimes out of our comfort and security to unknown places. And while Connecticut itself is not an unknown place to me, this conference is different than when I left it.
He's coming back to us with fresh new ideas, with a sense of where the church is in the 21st century and where it has to go.
I think the biggest challenge will be to attend to this conference, to learn its context fresh. And so I want to come with fresh eyes, with a fresh heart, with an open heart, open hands to the work. And I think that will be a challenge. There are all kinds of other challenges. It's a great time to be in ministry because of so many challenges that are before us. I have a great love for and passion for the church, and a deep love and affection for Jesus. And we can get caught up in a lot of things within the life of the church. But at the end of the day, the question when I go to sleep at night that I ask myself is, was God pleased? Did I follow Jesus today?
The search committee is excited to join with our colleagues on the board of directors.
Es con mucho entusiasmo que el comité de búsqueda se une a la junta de directores de la Iglesia Unida de Cristo para anunciar al reverendo Ken Siladi
and announcing the Reverend Ken Siladi
como nuestro candidato seleccionado para la posición de ministro
as our candidate for the next conference minister
de conferencia en Connecticut
of the Connecticut Conference of the United Church of Christ.
The board of directors is pleased to recommend to the conference Ken J. Siladi.
Ken Siladi.
Ken Siladi.
Ken Siladi.
Ken Siladi.
Ken Siladi.